going on, guys? Natty here. Just a little recap on today. We are back at the hotel now. Finished up with the WCQ. And we started off with the main event. Nolan and I kind of scrubbed out at O2. We just decided to focus on the main event, on the side events. And we lost literally all our die rolls. So 4 total die rolls lost, and it just didn't really matter what we did. Just this format right now, I just really need to win the die rolled in order to have success. But we had a lot of success in these side events. We signed up for a total of 3 tag tool events. We went undefeated for the first 2. We went cardboard cutouts, which are really cool. And we got tickets, which we haven't spent yet. We're kind of waiting to see what we want to do tomorrow, buy some mats or whatnot.
The mats are cheap.
Yeah, the mats are really cheap.
There's really
and they look really cool. Yeah, there's like a Dark Rebellion one and like some really cool looking stuff. We're gonna look at tomorrow once we get more tickets. Yeah. But and then we did a total of 3. So the last tag event we did, we ended up losing. But
they were uncoordinated.
Yeah.
It's just that so one player was playing Kashtira, and the other person was playing Runic. So decks that completely just obfuscate each other. Like they have nothing to do with each other. Like the dude's going for a Rise Heart pass and she's trying to play fucking whole Runic Sprite live twin. No synergy at all. What killed us was that the Cashier dude had he had double Ash. Double Ash.
Yeah.
And
Ash our Valdis and our Prosperity.
It was just bad. Like we had 2 goes in and we only set 1, and at the end of the day, the Runic player, she had Runic Destruction and she targeted goes in, and that's when me and Natty looked at each other. We're like, we should have set the fucking second goes in, because we had him under just the 1500 attack, 2100 defense Rise Heart to just nick us for 15 every turn. And that wouldn't have mattered if we just set both goes in. So it was our own fault that we just completely didn't even think about the possibility of what if she goes tip to Runic. Yeah. And we had everything else. We had full combo for everything else. It was just not setting the goes in match killed us, because it allowed the Sprite Runic live twin player to basically pop off. I was able to middle it down just to where she only had IP and what's the spell?
She sat on Carrot forever.
Yeah, and that was the only thing that she had, but it was just enough because we needed Prosperity, we needed packs, and we couldn't resolve any of it, which is crazy because my hand otherwise was great. It was Aratama, Sakitama, Droll. I had the combo, but I didn't have it through full live twin Sprite combo. So not setting both goes and just killed us completely. But we did win a lot. Tomorrow we should definitely get a mat. I think both of us would be pretty cool. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff here. Yeah. We got a secret rare, Flames of it's Flawed, right? FLOD, I believe. Yeah, we got
Flames of Destruction.
Flames of Destruction. These are the uncirculated cutouts. It's not first edition, but honestly, it's probably valuable in just the sense that we got the secrets. Yeah. We saw 2 people that actually got 2 Starlights, which was crazy. We got the ultra rare reprints from Duov. We got 2 supers, but these are better than the supers we got last time because it's not a reprint set. These are actually from Syak and they're first edition unprinted cutouts. So these are actually really cool, even if they're just supers. It kind of sucks that we got 2 Voties on the same page, but the cats are cute, and all of these ones are also different.
It's cool. The Tri-Brigade's really neat.
Yeah, the Bucephalus is really, really cool. I like this one better. This is just really cool. The Gold Pride, Arctos 12, and Bucephalus. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's really all I had. I think we just gotta, just look at whatever, the deck that we're playing. We're gonna look at it. We're not gonna say what we're playing, but we'll do deck profile on it tomorrow, because we'll post this, we'll edit it as a video. That's all I had.
That's all I got too.
Back to you.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get you guys deck profile tomorrow. It's pretty insane decks the way we have it teamed up between one being control, one being hand trap heavy, and sign out from here. Hope you guys have a good night, and hopefully you see anyone tomorrow. Anyone notices us or
say hi.
Say hi. Yeah.
Yes.
See you guys. Bye. What's up, guys? Natty here. I'm going to show you guys our Extra Sister deck profile that we went 3-0 for our tag duel event. And we'll get right to it. Starting with our main deck, pretty average, 3 Martha. Not much to say, she's just a badass bitch. 3 Ellis, 2 Stella, 2 Sophia, and your 1 Irene. Which wraps it up. The ratios seem pretty good for me. If anything, an extra Stella probably wouldn't hurt, but it seemed fine the whole day. And then for our spirits, these were insane. They just did everything the deck needs. So we went 3 Armitama, the 3 Sakitama. Just insane. Just a good extension. Good way to start your turn. Force out Ash Blossom, Imperm, whatever else. Just great cards for the deck. And even just for the grind game, just having them if you're out of Marthas or Ellis's, they just keep the deck rolling. Really good. Definitely just push the deck to tier 1 status. For our hand traps, 3 Shifter, just because you can. Such a good card. And with 3 Ash, just stopping Branded Fusion, Lab decks, just puts a lot of work in. Especially in this format. To our spells, 3 packs, self-explanatory, so usually just looking for your Martha. I just played 2 Prospies. I saw pretty much the whole entire tournament, so 2 seemed fine. I didn't want to lay a brick on it, and it worked out just fine. And finishing up our spells, just some removal. I had 3 Raigeki. Insane in tag duel event. I can literally clear like 10 monsters on the board. Crazy. And just as insane, Harpy's Feather Duster, just clearing a back row of up to 10 cards. Just pretty much a wrap, especially against back row decks, whatnot. And I'll get to it later, the other spicy tech I was playing. For our traps, I'm just on 2 Returnia and the 2 Vadis. If anything, the Vadis was the most insane trap in this deck, setting up for your opponent. You would just set this, when it came around to Nolan's turn, just flip it up, and it just literally just gets him a free Michaelis. And then for some fun cards, I was running 3 Gozen Match, which was just a bitch for my opponent the whole entire day, and 3 Anti-Spell. This card is insane in tag duel events. It's not just like you have to wait 1 turn for setting a spell. You have to wait 3 turns till it comes back to you. It's literally just an FDK that hits the board, and they don't have a way to deal with it. We just banish all their set cards once they set them all. That's it for our main deck. It's on 40. Very consistent. Every hand either had Martha, a Floodgate, Shifter. Really insane. For our extra deck, pretty self-explanatory. We just had our 2 Magnificas. Insane card, just a non-targeting banish, and the old switcheroo. Just kept our opponents on their heels pretty much the whole day. And just really crazy just being able to make 2 of these and just attack up to 4 times. Next, we have our 3 Nicholas. Just an insane card as well. Just being able to do this on the board for your opponent to make your Magnifica. The quick effect banish, turn summoned. Great card for the deck. And then we have our 2 Caspitels. Just searching out usually your Marthas, where else you need, Stella sometimes. And just has a great Floodgate-like effect to turn summon as well for your opponent if they're playing like Branded, Tier, whatever else. And I was on 2 Jabreen. Just running 2 just because of cash. Just a nice Imperm during your opponent's turn. And it also just was lethal half the time. So that 800 attack, having 3 Xyz on the board, just was enough for damage. 1 Sophiel just didn't really come up at all. I could see going second where it could come up, but just making the Michaelis for the banish is typically better half the time. But it's really good for its Floodgate-like effect, just blocking your opponent out of the graveyard. And lastly, just to clean up, we have the 1 Zeus. It's an XC deck, you gotta run Zeus. And this came quite a bit for the tournament, was the UDF. Just a really good towers for the board, stealing your opponent's monsters. Really good card. And then lastly, just to wrap up the deck, we have the 1 Baguska. This didn't come up at all, but I did end up making the Gaga Gaga Magician a couple times just to get into UDF. Just really easy, and you can pull Xyz from your opponent's graveyard as well. That's it for the deck list. All in all, this is a crazy deck for tag dueling, and even just for the single events, I did a Winemat and played against Evil Twin Sprite. It just cleaned house against that deck, just keeping the field spell off the board, having the goes in the match, and they had to like just waste their destruction and whatnot on my floodgates, having the shifter. Deck is definitely a tier 1 status, and even for the main event, Exosister was just cleaning house against a lot of decks, especially just being able to main goes the match. So we'll wrap it up here. We'll get to Nolan for his deck profile.
Hey everyone, Nolan here. So I have my deck profile for our tag team Exosister match. So Natty and I did indeed play the same decks. We coordinated it so that way we had the best chance of winning. So like Natty said, we won 3 tag team tournaments in a row, went undefeated. His Exosister deck, we focused more trap heavy so that he could floodgate out the opponent, whereas mine was combo and hand trap heavy. So we made it so whatever one of our decks lacked an advantage or a disadvantage, we made up for the other person. So we'll get right into my profile here. So for the first, I'm going to start with hand traps. So I played 3 copies of Dimensional Shifter. This card came up, I think, in every single match that we played. It was a massive blowout to a lot of different decks that we actually encountered over the 3 tag team events that we participated in that we went undefeated with. So this was an absolute must, and it was really funny because the way it works, because there's 4 people, you activate this, it's active until the next turn, so it's the opponent diagonal from you. So you go, your opponent across from you will go, then Natty, then that opponent. So D-Shifter was active for 4 turns. So it was just an insane blowout card because, you know, against like Sorzel or Branded, it cleans their advantage up. So 3 of those. Also, 3 Ash. We were very kind of trepid about going up against Branded and some other decks like Runic. So this card came up a lot whenever we had it. We definitely used it. It's just Ash. It's just a good trap or hand trap this format. Next, 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. So this was a weird card that I was, at the end of the day, it was like a half and half. It was either I was really disappointed in the card or it was absolutely game breaking. So the only issue is when I opened up Droll plus Shifter, which happened quite a lot, I was only able to use one card or the other because, you know, you have to either use Droll first and then not have Shifter at all, or Shifter, wait 4 turns and then hope that you can activate Droll. So I think it was a weird choice, but at the end of the day, it did help us in some matchups where we could stall out the opponent for like 2 more turns until it came back to myself or Natty, so that way we could start cleaning up, you know, start targeting Banish, non-targeting Banish, you know, switcheroo with Magnifica. So it was okay, but I'd probably switch it out for a different hand trap like Ghost Spell for tag teams. Monsters, I did play the Spirit lineup, so I had 3 Aratama, and I also played the 3 Sakitama. Hindsight, I probably would have just played 2 Sakitama because Aratama can bounce stuff to hand and phase. You know, later on you normal summon again, which did come up, you know, when people were imperming or ashing the Aratama, and I had like 2 Sakitama in hand, whereas like, you know, that second Sakitama, although I can summon it, the second one's dead in my hand. I don't really need it, so maybe I will cut this down to 2. But for the tag team event, just having them as pure extenders or searchers, especially when you open Martha, you go Martha first and then normal summon your Aratama, was insane, because even if they ash the Martha and it's still in your hand, you can just normal summon this, add Sakitama, and still almost go full combo, given that your hand is like insane, but still really good. I, you know, probably cut Sakitama down to 2, but for this event I'd left it at 3 each. Exosisters, of course I ran the 3 copies of Exosister Martha. And to complement that, I also ran 3 copies of Ellis. Like Natty said, Martha's just a house of a card. Even if they ash you can still normal summon it. If you have Ellis in hand, you can just special summon Ellis, which did come up quite often where we would get ashed on Martha and didn't matter because we had Sakitama or we had Aratama or we had an Ellis in hand, so we just normal it. Normal Sakitama or normal Martha, special Ellis. So no matter what, we still had our combo going on. So really just good 3-ofs for each. And obviously because you run 3, you have to run 3 of the other. I also, for mine, I ran 3 copies of Stella. This was a really good card if, again, your Martha got ashed, where you could normal summon this and then special summon the Martha from hand since it's dead at that point anyway. And, for tag duels, it's still 45 minutes, so you have to wait all the way around. Whereas, if you have 3 of these, you could just immediately use it, still go Mikolas, get your Vadis for setting up your partner. And to complement the Stella, I ran one Sophia, one Irene, so having this on field, a special summon either one of these is also really good, because although you don't gain the life point advantage, when you, like for example, if you were to Vadis these 2 out, which we did a lot to gain the life points and the draws, still doing this plus Sophia or Stella plus Irene is good, because either way you're getting a card, tuck one underneath that you don't want, and you also have Sophia, which is just a draw 1, which is still really good. Setting up your partner, go Uvadis, your partner can go Sophia to let you draw a card, set up yourself for the next turn. So yeah, 3, 3, 3, and then 1 and 1. Spells, I did play 3 copies of packs, and for mine, because again this was more combo heavy, the last Exorcister cards, I did play 1 copy of Carpe Diem, and I played 1 Arment. So Arment, I only saw twice during the entire, during the 9-12 rounds that we played, depending on the amount of players that we had. We had 2 that were 3 and 1 that was 4, but Arment came up twice, and both times it came up, it was brutal for the opponent. It was just really, really good, because, if they Ash or Impermed Martha or Stella, Irene, whatever he had on field, you just Arment during your opponent's turn and still get into Mikolas for a free banish. And then Carpe Diem, that actually came up quite a few times. So whenever we Exi summon during our turn, especially if it was turn 1 or turn 3, we would call Ash Blossom, we would call Nibiru, and it would just shut down their turn for interrupting us, and we could just pop off with Pax or Martha in hand. So yeah, just really, really good cards. Arment was just a solid card whenever I did see it, but I only saw it twice the entire time. So last spells, 2 Prod of Prosperity, same reasoning as Natty. I didn't want to brick on 3, and 2 was really good. I saw 1 in every opening hand, so whenever our Martha got ashed, I just Prod of Prosperity, saw an Aratama, Sakitama, or a pack, so it just worked every time. For our traps, my trap lineup is different. So Natty, again, he played a very heavy control variant, whereas mine was just 3 Returnia for the banish and non-targeting banish, and also 2 Xyz. If we weren't able to get to Magnifica for any reason, we could activate this banish card, XZ summon, and have 2 more banishes on the field, and plus the banish, once you switch out Mikolas, or switch out 2 Mikolas from Magnifica, and then Vadis. So all in all, we were running 3 Vadis, because basically all these tournaments, only from our experience, only lasted about 2 whole rotations. And so just having 3 that were searchable, so that way it was my turn, his turn, maybe my turn or his turn again, Natty's turn rather. It was just really good for the rotation, so that way we could catch our opponent in a loop where it just wasn't ending on the second rotation. We could really grind them out and make sure they had nothing in terms of card advantage or even just cards in general. Just the constant banishing, or using Vadis or Returnia, banish a card from graveyard, trigger both your Exorcisters. Just really, really good for Van's running 3. And then all in all, I think we ran 5 or 6 Returnia, just every single turn, just banish, non-targeting, banish.
Just even a double banish.
Plus the Mikolas and Magnifica, just being able to banish 4 cards every turn was so friggin' good. It was fantastic. So those are my Exo traps. And last, just for massive blowouts, I did run 3 copies of D-Barrier, which did come up. D-Barrier is just a house. You put this in with the Gozen, the Anti-Spell, the Raigekis, whatever else Natty was running his deck. It was just, we aimed for having Natty always be player A and blow out the opponent with stall traps, floodgate them out. And then when it came over to me, he would normally have a Magnifica, so now I'll go full combo, get my own Magnifica, banish, set this, pass, and went over as their turn. If I had barrier, if I had Returnia, I could Returnia or Vadis for, just setting up Natty for next turn. So yeah, just having these massive blowout cards is just the way to play. And at the end of the day, just playing the same deck is better. My extra deck's a little different, so I'm only running 2 Mikolas, and 2 Caspatel. We didn't need 6 copies, in a 30-card extra deck. I put in 6 cards specifically for Prod of Prosperity, and also if we get into a grind game. having a third of any Exorcister never comes up and never came up in tag teams, but I would say for playing like a main event, you might want to put in like 3 Michelaes, 3 Caspitell, 3 like Magnifica or something like that. But yeah, I ran 2 of those. I ran 2 Magnifica, again for the same reason. I just didn't need the third. 2 Asophiel and 2 Gabrine. So we knew going into this, like, there was a chance, like, we could play a Dark World deck, we could play a Dino deck, we could play, Branded. And so we did have players in our same tournaments who were playing those decks. It was just that we didn't play them. It was either they won or lost and played someone else, and we didn't get to. But teching my extra deck out, so that way it was more in tune with blocking the graveyard was a lot better, so that way Natty could focus on the banishment, which worked really, really well. And then for the techie cards, these were all of these are pot of prosperity targets, or if we want to stall, number 41, Abyss Dweller, Gaga Cowboy for so we had an issue the last time where we ended up in like kind of like a stalemate, and we just had to keep going until someone dealt damage, as opposed to just, if you're at 16,000 each, you go into Cowboy, burn, and then they call it right there, the judge. So that's why I ran that, so we don't run into that again. Exiton Knight and Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. So the 6th target for Prop Prosperity is either the extra Gabrine or the extra Sophiel. So you basically have 7 targets, but you only need to obviously do 36. So yeah, that was the main extra. So there's no side deck. You don't get to do best of 3. It's single round, single elimination. And then out of my prize pack, I just wanted to show this. I actually did end up pulling a first ed Blazing Cartesia and a first ed Fenrir out of just like 2 random dabble packs they gave us. So it was pretty cool just to pull these out of like the random giveaway packs. So we made all of our money back off of just entering the tournaments. I mean, it's like $50 for the Cartesia or something. Like 20 for the. So yeah, we made like all our money back off spending that. So yeah, we also did do Winamat. Nettie and I entered the same one, so that way we had the best chance of actually winning the tournament. So with our tickets, I ended up winning the Winamat with just Cash Tira. I beat Natty in round 2. We thought that since the players on the left and right, since they won or lost on each side, they would alternate, so that way we were playing the person right next to us. But yeah, I ended up playing Natty in round 2, which was really funny because I just stopped and just slapped him with the viewer twice. And you were pretty mad about that. So we did play each other, but at the end of the day, I did win, and we still won the mat. So with all of our tickets, actually the mat that I actually won is really heavy, really friggin' gigantic. I actually won the WCQ mat, which is Jack Atlas and I think was it Gong or something like that. Yeah, Gong. The voice actors are at the event, but I wasn't gonna wait 2 more hours for them to be done with hosting. I think they were like doing dragon duels, and then waiting like 3 hours in line just to get a signature. So that was not gonna happen. Maybe one other day. And then with our tickets, Natty got a 2012, I believe 2012, yeah, regional 2012 Ninja map, which is sick. It's very pristine, very clean. There's no creases on it, which we were really surprised by. So we used our winning tickets to buy these mats. This one was probably like the best one that we got, just because it's so old and so pristine at the same time. So that'll be pretty cool for locals. And then with mine, I got this first. I got the Chaos in 2023, right? Regional 2023. Yeah, Regional 2023 Chaos Man. It has Chaos Beast, Goddess, and Archfiend. It's really cool. They even have like designs on the outline of the cards, like these little, I think it's like little beast things. Yeah, so there's that one. And then the only other thing we won, I had to go through 3 of them until we found one that wasn't shattering upon opening it, which we made sure the guy knew, so he was really good. So shout out to whatever your name was for getting us. Yeah, for getting us like a good deck box that wasn't just breaking apart. So yeah, I got a World Championship qualifier regional for the 2022-2023 season. Hey everyone, this is Nolan and Natty's in the background here. We just want to say thanks for watching and joining us on this journey for nationals. We're all done. We're just getting packed up and ready for to leave tomorrow morning, get back to locals, grind again for regionals, hopefully make it back to nationals. Hopefully by this time next year. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the day 1, day 2, day 3 videos, and we'll see you guys soon.
Peace, guys.
See ya.